Hello everybody, welcome to this very special episode of Science of the Storm. This is part 2 of my experience gain special. You can check out part 1 where I explain how structures and minions experience work by clicking the link that's on the screen right now. In today's episode we will learn how exactly experience works regarding mercenary camps and hero kills, how can heroes gain XP while being far from the minions, and how does Abathur, usually being out of lane, provide those points for his team. We'll start off with the quote-unquote easy one, mercenary camps. In part 1 we saw that minions are worth more XP as time goes by, and mercenaries still apply to this rule, although in a somewhat weird way. Here you can see that I engaged the camp as it spawned at the 2-minute mark. The mage mercenary gave me 78 experience points, slightly more than a footman on the first wave of minions, which gives 70. Without letting the camp reset, I killed one bruiser, which gave me 52 points. At this point I had to go back and heal, leaving the camp to reset. In the time that passed since I left and got back, their XP worth raised. You can see that the last 2 bruisers gave me 54 XP each instead of 52, for a total of 238 points. From previous tests, I already know that bruisers should be worth 52 points and not 54 on their first spawn, so I came to the conclusion that a mercenary camp experience worth growth stops while they are engaged in combat. If you leave the camp to come back at a later time, they will be worth more experience depending on how much time has passed. Now for a little something that I suspected, but wasn't actually sure about. Mercenary camps are worth the same amount of experience to the team that captured them as they are to the team that kills them in lane. You can see that the enemy Gazlo earned 144 points by defeating a camp of sea giants. Once I killed them both, I got awarded the same exact amount, 144. That said, it is worth noting that in no point during the game a mercenary camp will be worth more XP than a minion wave, since they seem to grow at more or less the same pace and minions have a big head start. Just talking about maximizing experience gain, not factoring in lane presence or pushing, mercenary camps should only be taken by a dedicated jungler while all lanes are already covered. Now we can start talking about hero kills. First of all, something that not everyone knows. When a hero dies, the opposing team will be awarded his or her value in XP regardless if there is any friendly hero within experience range or not. This is very different from other MOBAs where you can suicide to deny your opponent's gold or XP, as even dying to neutral camps will still grant your enemy with those points. As to why there is a 5 points difference between the XP contribution tab and what you actually see on top of the dying enemy, I have no idea. Now, regarding actual player kills, it all depends on team level differences. A kill when both teams are at level 1 is worth 300 experience points. When both teams are at level 2, a kill is worth 352 XP. At mutual level 3, it is worth 402. And at level 4, 442. The experience worth growth of a hero kill seems to be slowly decreasing over time as levels go up, which smooths out the leveling curve throughout the game. These numbers start going wild when the two teams are at different levels. Overall, keep in mind that if your opponent is higher level than you, he is going to be worth more experience than he should. While being at level 2, a kill on an enemy that is at level 3 is worth 434 experience points, which is an increase of almost 100 points over the same level kill. The same rule goes for the other way around. If you are higher level than your opponents, killing them will become less and less valuable as the difference increases. In the background you can see some examples, but without going into much detail, I can already tell you that when there is a 4 levels difference between the two teams, a player kill will be worth less than a mercenary camp. While on the other hand, if you are 4 levels behind, a single player kill will be worth more than all 3 keeps combined. With this knowledge, it is easy to see how comebacks are a true possibility in this game. If you are ahead, don't die. Never. It is the worst thing you can do for your team, since you are awarding the enemy an increased amount of experience points, even if you die by neutral camps. Boss calls. On the other hand, if you are behind, look for picks. They will quickly help you climb back into the game. Now for the last part of this special, long-range minion farming. It actually was Abathur that made me curious on how does XP work in Heroes of the Storm in the first place. His numbers were different from game to game, with the chance of being both lower or higher than the usual norm for other heroes. At first I thought that he could farm minions from two different lanes on its own, one thanks to his locusts, the other one by symbioting a minion. Turns out that this is not the case. Abathur's symbiote lets him gain experience like any other hero would, by simply being close to dying minions. He can effectively proxy his position thanks to it. But his locusts do not work as I thought they would. A locust will only grant Abathur experience if it delivers the killing blow on a minion or a mercenary. Incredibly surprised by this, I decided to test his monstrosity as well. And, just like the locusts, it only grants the team experience if it lands the killing blow. I was actually really confused by this, as last hitting is something that you don't see in Heroes of the Storm. So, I decided to test it on other heroes as well. Here is an example with Tychus and his Melting Point talent. You can clearly see that only the minions that die to the damage over time effect are generating XP, while others do not. Same thing goes with Gazlowe. His turrets only give his team experience if they land a killing blow on the minions. So, long-range minions farming is a real thing, but keep in mind that it is not as reliable as physically being close to the minions to soak up those points yourself, as you cannot guarantee that your long-range abilities or summons will land a killing blow. This concludes the Experience Gain Special. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. I did put a lot of time and effort into it. If you did, do not forget to check out my other Heroes of the Storm videos by clicking the link on the bottom right of the screen. And, of course, subscribe! I am SunGlare, the Italian gamer, signing out. Thanks for watching!